So, Time is the song that Chris will tell you I wrote in the band. I think that I contributed I think that this was the first song, this city may arguably be the same amount of actual, where we collaborated, the same amount, but Time is a very good example of collaboration within this band, songwriting wise, because there's some people contributing lyrically. Chris, being the lyricist and the singer, contributed the bulk of the lyrics and lyricism and definitely the device of the song. But I think the seedling that I brought, Chris and I were talking about certain songs. He was like, man, if we had a song like this, and I'm a good, I'm like parody of something that you like. You're like, hey, can you do this? I'll be like, yeah, I'll do something stupid that you don't like that looks like that. And I brought something like that was like pretty good idea. Chris picked it up and ran with it lyrically, and then bringing it to the band. I think that Ben, whether he knows it or not, wrote the verse. Because I brought kind of what became the chorus. Mentally, I make note of kind of not necessarily, I don't keep score, even though I'm keeping score, Ben. I don't necessarily keep score, but I kind of make note, because as something changes, I almost if you're a naturalist out observing a bird or something like that, just for my own edification, songwriting wise, because I study songwriting and really pay attention to that stuff. I like the permutations. I like when a mutant thing comes out of something. So when it deviates kind of from the original idea for ill or good, I'm like, oh, hey, that's whatever. And I really felt like the verse was boom, just carved this huge piece of dynamicness of the song. And it kind of actually set the bar for the way the verse sets the bar for how dynamic the song can be and how different it can kind of be from your normally arty farty doodly doo, Irish inspired chorusy, street punk kind of song, which I also like stuff like that. But and then by the time it got to the bridge, with everybody's input, it really is a really cool amalgamation of several different kind of genres. Maybe a record collection that somebody have. I've got a record collection where it's kind of an Irish inspired thing with some instrumentation, but in the same thing, I've got a hardcore band in the same record collection. I've got a Americana record of this. It's almost like a dude took his favorite 5 records and is like, what if I wrote a song that celebrated these aspects of what I like? To me, my input and what I take away from that song is that it scratches all the itches that you would want from a big gang vocally chorus street punky song that maybe has I say that Irish punk, everybody's Irish in the band by proxy kind of music. It scratches those itches, but it's got a really dynamic verse that pushes and pulls and breathes a little bit. It's got a really cool, almost 80s, 90s, Proclaimers or something influenced pre-chorus, almost like a Living End or something like that, where it builds up to that chorus again. And then by the B section, the breakdown, the middle part, the bridge, you have another vocalist come in. You have a slightly different take on the conceptually, lyrically coming in. That is sort of the two styles of lyrics are kind of collaborating together. I like when music does that, when two different vocalists do that. And then by the time you get to the end, you just have almost that round thing that Ben and I are always looking to put to bed one day, or maybe wake up from its slumber like a beast ready to take over. That round where it's the pre-chorus actually becomes the chorus with the chorus underneath. So it's really cool to layer parts on top of each other. It's almost like a classic folk song. I know that Pete Seeger did that a lot with the way he would layer. By the time it got to the chorus, it had the verse, pre-chorus, or you would call a refrain, with the chorus kind of all layered. And so that's exciting to be a part of that songwriting wise. And then I get to do some medleys and stuff like that, so I always like that. Live, it's exciting to play live because we kind of all start together, which is pretty awesome. And I think it's because we get into that song. I think whether the crowd is going to like it or not, we'll be into that song. It's definitely one I can see in the future folks singing along with. Already at live shows are singing along with it, so it's very gratifying to be a part of something in the inception, bring it all the way through the recording process, and then present it live, and people are into it. At least I don't have the confidence to think like, oh man, everybody's gonna love this, but you have a feeling because you feel it, and then when you get out there and that you put that energy out and then it comes back to you, it's very gratifying. It's like, that's a fun song to play live just because it's dynamic. It goes through several different stylistically, which is really cool. It kind of, I have to talk to Ben about this, but it kind of like does a couple of things that I like about a few songs in the Stundy set. So I hope if we do more of that in the future, maybe we shouldn't talk about it. Maybe we should it should be a nod and a wink or whatever. And especially so the other guys don't notice that happening. I'd like to kind of keep that on the DL, but keep that injected in there. But yeah, that song's awesome playing live. I really like it.